Hey guys, welcome back. So yeah, I hope you guys have been enjoying those pregnancy vlogs. But I obviously had baby, and so today we're gonna be sharing the labor and delivery story, and then I'll probably do a meet my baby. If you guys are interested, just give me a thumbs up and I'll know. But if nobody gives me a thumbs up, I'm not gonna do one. But I thought I would share my labor and delivery story because I thought it was pretty cool, and not in the sense of there's like things happened and it just was really awesome, or you know, it's not in like a dramatic as in like the events were amazing, but more like my realization and kind of something that I learned for myself and kind of taught myself about myself. I don't know if that makes sense, but like an epiphany that I had or something like that. But I thought I would just share this because I'm sure there's a lot of people that, a lot of women that maybe think like me, or maybe this will be helpful, or maybe can relate in some way. So I did want to do this video for you guys. Basically, I had baby on the 27th, but I was kind of having contractions on and off for 2 days before then. And then the day before, for like 5 hours, I was having contractions, which ended up not progressing. So they were Braxton Hicks, but they really convinced me that I was in labor. And then, so on the 26th, all day long I've kind of had on and off like Braxton Hicks, and then at 6 o'clock at night I went to put the boys to bed and I was rocking, and that's when my contractions started getting consistent, and they actually started to kind of progress. So at 6 o'clock is when I started to mark down, and they were getting consistent. So they weren't super close together, 9 minutes apart. Mine start like that, and my contractions are always inconsistent as far as time, because sometimes I just don't know. I don't feel them. They come strong and then not strong and then come strong. And so anyway, so at 6 o'clock I put them to bed. I'm kind of there for an hour and I'm noticing, okay, they're consistent. So after I'm done at like 7, I get in the bath. Or maybe 7:30. I get in the bath and I kind of just relax in there for an hour, and I feel my contractions, but they're not super strong. So I'm just kind of chilling. My whole thought process is that I'm going to labor at home as long as possible, go to the hospital. I don't want to have any epidural this time. And, yeah, that's kind of my thought, that if I can make it as long as I can at home, it's going to be easier at the hospital because there's so much distractions. And I did take HypnoBirthing classes, and I read the book and stuff, which was actually really helpful and helped for the at-home labor and even at the hospital when everyone was distracting me. But anyways, so I'm in the tub after an hour. It just totally relaxes me, and I can still feel the contractions and I can still feel that they're normal strong, but I feel fine. So I get out of the tub, you know, I tell my husband, and I lay in the bed, you know, I get dressed. All our bags are basically ready and in the car already, because the night before I thought I was in labor. And so I'm kind of just chilling in the bed. I'm laying on my left side, and my husband's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go downstairs, get you some graham crackers, some water, whatever. Which he never did, guys, by the way. He went downstairs and started talking to friends and just like forgot about me in labor. Anyways, so I lay down in bed, and no joke, 10 minutes later, my contractions all of a sudden were like incredibly painful, like incredibly strong, lots of tightening, lots of pressure. And I was like, oh, what the heck? Like, am I just in a bad position? But literally while I was having contractions, I could not move from my position. Like, I had to stay still or else it was going to just be too much. And so I think I was like, okay, well, maybe that was just like a weird one. So I decided to stay in bed. And after the second one, it came pretty soon after, I think like 7 minutes, I got up. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go downstairs. We'll see what my husband, first off, I'm pissed already. So I'm like, I was super happy. And as soon as I got in the bed after those 2 contractions, I was cranky. I was upset. I was like, well, what is taking him so long? Now my contractions are so intense that I'm not gonna eat graham crackers, and I could have had my graham crackers because I was hungry. And so anyways, I went downstairs and I could hear him talking. I was like, you little stretcher. Anyways, so I went downstairs. I brought my bags downstairs, and I sat on the couch with my mom, and just contractions kept coming. So we're still 7 minutes apart, the contractions, and I was still timing them. I got my husband, like, they were getting pretty strong, and I'm like, I want him here with me. Like, it helps me whenever I see him, it helps me be strong. And so anyway, so I got him to come up, and it wasn't like in a pleasant way. I was like, you better get your butt up here before I punch you straight in the face. I said, if you talk to anybody else other than me again, I'm gonna punch you straight in the face. Because we're living in our home. We actually have one of his friends living with us, and so also one of the other friends happened to be over here on the day that I'm in labor, and so they're just like chatting it up and stuff, and he's like, I'm sorry, I was getting your graham crackers. I'm like, really? In the basement? I was changing laundry. Well, I asked you for one specific thing. Anyways, so I'm sitting there on the couch, and they're starting to get pretty strong. Like, I have to really concentrate. So I'm not talking anymore in between. My eyes are closed. I'm concentrating. I was trying to find a position which would make it easier for me, because there's just certain positions that it just made more pressure, made it seem like there's more pressure, and it would just hurt a little bit more. But not hurt, but it would be more intense. And so finally I was like, you know what? It's time to go. It's time to go to the hospital, because this is getting a lot more intense than I've ever done at home. And I don't want to end up having the baby, because it's my 4th baby. So babies come faster that way. When you've had a certain amount of babies, you tend to have them faster. And so I was like, okay, I don't want to, I'm worried that it's getting close and I'm not realizing it. So anyways, we got in the car, and it's super bumpy here. So like, we had to stop one time because I was in the middle of a contraction and it was too bumpy, and I was like, you better pull over, because this is just it's making it hurt. The bumps are making it hurt. So we did that one time. The hospital's not that far. It's like 10 minutes away. So as we were driving, the contractions, like as soon as I got in the car, the contractions started coming very quickly after each other. So they went from like 7 to 8 minutes apart to like 4 to 5 minutes apart. And then we missed a turn. Well, my husband did. We missed a turn. So we have exit 6 to go to the hospital. Next thing I know, we're at exit 20. And I'm like, did you miss the exit to the hospital? He's like, yeah. Like, I was just seriously, like, that's how I said it. I was so calm, but I was just like, I could very easily karate chop you in the neck. And, like, please, like, Sharon, calm down. Like, I can do this. Not karate chop my husband in the neck. I was like, really? Like, what are you doing? Like, I'm concentrating in my, through contractions, and you're missing exits. Like, this is ridiculous. And so anyway, so we got off. Finally, we got close to the hospital. As soon as we parked to go into the hospital, as soon as we got down from the car, the contractions actually started coming 2 minutes apart. So they started every couple steps. I had to stop. And there was just, it completely escalated. Like, it's insane how quickly it escalated from something that was, okay, at 6 o'clock, I think I'm in labor, just hanging out, early labor. And then all of a sudden, 2 hours later, it's like 2 minutes apart. It's just like so quickly. I don't even know how much time. I think we left like at 9:50 or something like that, 9:30 or something like that. Anyways, so we got in there, we checked in, all that checking in process, it just takes forever. And then they have to go back there and register you and all that kind of stuff. And so by then, every single couple steps, I had to stop because I was in a contraction. Finally, they put me back in the room, they hooked me up, they check me before they admit me, and they're like, you're 7 centimeters. And I'm like, yeah, well, it feels like I'm in 7 centimeters by now. And so they let me go into, or we had to wait there for, I don't know, like 30 minutes. And then they let me into a room. But this is the thing. This is the thing that it's just kind of frustrated me at the moment, is that they moved me around so much, from bed to bed, from this to that, touching me, moving my bed up and down. I was like, can you stop moving my bed? I need my bed up. Can you move it up, please? Because just them moving me made it painful. So I could totally handle it. You know, the pressure, a lot of pressure. They were getting really intense. But when they're touching me and moving me, I was just like, don't touch me. Like, don't move my bed. If I don't need to lay down, I don't want to lay down, because laying down makes it hurt. It's not a good position. I don't like that position. And so, you know, all of that kind of thing really distracted my mind, because in hypnobirthing, you have to be super concentrated for it to become something that you can handle, and that it can kind of like go throughout your body and you can be very relaxed. But whenever people are distracting you and touching you and messing with you, it makes it almost impossible. So I was getting kind of frustrated. Anyway, so when they're finally done doing whatever they're doing, my nurse says, you know, your doctor's on his way. He's probably gonna want to break your water. I'm like, oh, well, he's not. Oh, well, he usually does. I'm like, well, no one's breaking my water unless I have pain medicine inside me. I'm like, unless I have some pain meds on, no one's breaking my water, because I know what happens. It becomes intense super quick. So anyways, I didn't have that much of an attitude, but you know what I mean? Like, I was just like, no one's touching me. But anyway, so I'm kind of thinking about it, and that's when I kind of have my epiphany that I wanted to share. So my thoughts were hypnobirthing all the way. I'm going to do it natural. Not that having an epi or doing it any other way isn't natural. It's natural every way. You're giving birth to a baby. It's as natural as it gets. There's no way to call it not natural. But anyways, unmedicated, I wanted to do it because my kind of train of thought is, you know what? If everyone in the freaking world can do it this way, why can't I? I can do it this way. I'm just as strong, and I can definitely have a baby without an epidural. I had them before because it was just kind of like a thing that I did, and it was just a way I could relax and sleep, and it made it a really pleasant thing. But I was kind of had this obsession where I want to do it without any medication. But because I felt like, why can't I? Why am I the only person that doesn't do it that way? Or, you know, like I had this mindset where I can prove that I'm strong. I want to prove to myself, not to really to other people, but I wanted to prove to myself that I could do this. And so anyways, as I was kind of sitting there, I kind of was debating because I was nervous. You know, you're nervous. I've never done it without an epidural. And so, I was kind of sitting and debating what I should do, because my doctor was going to come in and ask if he could break my water. And I definitely wasn't going to let him break it when I was 8 centimeters without any medicine. So I kind of had this realization as I was thinking, and kind of a thought came to me. And the thought basically said, the thoughts that I thought was basically, Sharon, this isn't about you not being able to do it or being able to do it, or about you being strong or needing to prove something to yourself. You don't need to prove anything to yourself. You just need to be who you are. Enjoy the moment. No matter which way you decide to do it, you are a strong person. You don't need to, if you don't want to, do it this way. You don't need to do it. So I kind of, after I had that thought, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, what am I even thinking? Like, I just need to relax, and whatever I choose, it's okay. It's okay. I don't need to prove anything to myself. I know that I'm a strong person, and I know that I can do it without an epidural, and I know that I can do lots of things. And I don't need this to make me feel empowered. And so, you know, I kind of felt like no matter which way you choose, you're beautiful, you're strong, and you can do this. And so as I was kind of thinking about that, I thought, you know, I was still kind of nervous. Like, I don't know which way is the best way. And so I just thought, you know what, I'm going to get an epidural, and like a light one. And we're going to see how it goes. That's just how I decided. So I was kind of at 8 centimeters. He came in, they gave me a light epi so I could still lift my legs, move my legs back and forth, move my toes. I could still feel the contractions, but it wasn't like, I could feel the tightening, but I didn't feel any pain or any more pressure. It was just tightening that I would feel. and I kind of rolled over and I slept for like 40 minutes. Me and my husband did. And the relief I felt, I can't even tell you the relief I felt when I had made my decision, and everything that happened after that. It was just such a beautiful birth. Everything that kind of happened after that, it was just so beautiful, like such a beautiful birth. Like I just felt like everything was just so beautiful. And so 40 minutes, I go to sleep, I wake up, the nurse is like, I'm gonna flip you over on your other, help you flip you over so that the epidural doesn't just settle on one side. So she flips me over, and then as she opens my legs, she's like, the baby's head is right there. You're about to have the baby as you're sleeping. And she's like, call the doctor. She's like getting stuff together. She's like, I might have to just help you have this baby before the doctor even gets here. We don't know. And so she's like grabbing stuff. She's like looking at me. And so anyway, she's like, okay, the only thing we're going to do is, like, the doctor got there fast, and they put my legs up on the little, you know, on little stool things. So anyways, they're like, okay, well, this is basically your baby's falling out. Your baby's falling out right now. And like the head's right there. It's coming out. Anyway, so the doctor is super excited because, I mean, the whole pregnancy, the doctor's just been like, you're an easy patient because there's nothing ever wrong with you. Anyway, so he's just like, literally just laugh. Cough or laugh. Just go, ha ha. And I did. I was like, ha ha. And the baby came out, and he's like, there you go, the baby's out. And he like the baby just popped right out, and the baby it was just such a smooth, beautiful thing. I didn't rip, I didn't tear. He's like, wow, you didn't rip, you didn't tear, the baby just came out really smooth. I mean, it was just pleasant. It was literally a second. I didn't even push. He's like, don't even push, just kind of laugh, make a laugh noise. And anyways, it was just so wonderful. You know, they had the baby, they handed it to me. They kind of like had to take him to the table because he was a little purple. He was holding his breath. But once they got him to cough and cry and start to get that stuff out, they gave him to me. I held him for an hour. And then she took him, she wrapped him. We didn't have a room yet, so I wanted to rest because I was so tired just from labor that we rested for an hour as the baby slept, and then we went into our room. And it was just, like I said, it was a simple labor and delivery story, but it became just such a beautiful experience just from learning, hey, I know who I am, and I don't have to just do these things to try to make me feel like I am strong. And I just felt like I got to know myself a little bit better. I don't know. It's such a sweet experience. I wanted to share it with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to see me meet my baby, let me know by giving me a like. And yeah, I'm just so happy we're healthy. Not to mention because I didn't rip or tear, or he didn't have to cut me or sew me. It's been about like 3 days that I've been home, and I just feel amazing. My body feels amazing. I'm recuperating. I'm not bleeding as much, and it's just, I can walk, I can do everything that I need to do, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy. This labor and delivery and this baby, it's just, everything's just so beautiful, and I'm just so grateful. And I'm just looking at my kids and my family. I'm like, you guys are just so amazing, and I have like the sweetest little kids ever, like ever. My little boys were all just so excited and so loving to see the baby and just wanting to help and just touch and just be so sweet. Even the smallest that I said I was worried about, Kai, he's been literally an angel, so sweet. At first he wouldn't touch him, but he wanted to see him and hold him and smile. And when I'm holding him, he's like respectful. And oh, it's just been so amazing, you guys. I'm just so happy. I hope I can relate to you somehow with this story. I don't know, I hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys have been so awesome with all your comments, and I just wanted to update you guys. So yeah, I guess that's it, you guys. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.